guys, welcome back. Today's video we're going to be talking about the new PT, or which is currently the beta PT. Let's get started. Okay, so you've probably heard me talk about this PT before. It's very controversial. It's right up there with ABUs, but I think it does bring on some good change. So recently I went to COS. If you want to know more about that, you can click up there. And we talked to the guy who actually kind of put the program together. His name is Kurt Levan, I don't know. Kurt LaFond. And I talked to the guy who kind of put it all together, Kurt LaFond, and so he does a lot with that kind of stuff. And so he really explained the why behind it. So I want to explain what it is and then a little bit of the history, science behind it, so you don't get so angry. Okay, so this is just a little pamphlet thing that I have, and it says, early in 2017, new cadet physical fitness tests will be implemented nationwide, and other resources supporting the modernized fitness test will become available. It's based off of 2 cardiovascular or running events, the 1 mile and the pacer, plus 2 strength events, the push-up and the curl-up, and the flexibility event, which is the back saver sit and reach. Performance standards are set by the cadet's age and gender, no longer achievement. So in the past, when we had the presidential award, when you were in your first stage, it was 35%, and then it became 40%, 50%, and eventually when you got your spots, it was at 75% of all of the nation's cadets, or all. During Phase 1, Achievements 1 through 3, cadets are required to participate actively in at least one 45-minute fitness activity per achievement, such as a fitness game, calisthenics, or an academic class. For Achievement 1, cadets participate in CPFT to establish a baseline and for counseling purposes only. Participation at the Wright Brothers Award beyond the cadet's obligation to participate actively in at least one 45 fitness class or activity to become eligible for future promotions. Further beginning with the Wright Brothers, the cadet becomes able to and becomes accountable for his fitness performance to fulfill his promotion requirements. He must have attained the Healthy Fitness Zone, or HFT as they're referred to a lot, in a running event plus 2 out of the 3 of the remaining events. And this must be done every 180 days. They're also trying to add a physical fitness officer. So this is kind of the person who mentors those and really tries to get their scores where they need to be. The fitness officer is an optional new position we encourage squadrons to use and staff. The duties include the orientation, administration, the activities, the education, the physical fitness award, and mentoring for the CPFT. I want to talk a little bit about the cadet fitness badge. The qualifications to earn the badge, you must surpass the award's age and gender based performance based on the CPFT. So it's basically there's another bar that's set for you, and if you reach that bar, then you get to wear a little badge on your uniform. Here's what the little badge looks like. So there's 3 different levels for it. I'll actually put a link below to the new draft, so you can actually go check out your scores for the badge and what you need to promote. One thing is to note is that it's the same baseline based on your age and gender up until your spots award, and then it's based on the Air Force Academy admittance. So it's 2 minutes for as many push-ups, 2 minutes for as many sit-ups, and then 1.5 miles. And so your scores significantly jump when you get to that, but they feel like that's the standard at which you need to be at. Just for an example, if you're a 12-year-old girl, your pacer must be 23. If you don't really know what the pacer is, I'll explain that in a moment. The mile run must be a 10:40. Your curl must be 18 curl-ups. You have to have 7 90-degree push-ups and a 10 on the back saver sit and reach. If you're a 12-year-old male, you must get a 23 on the pacer, 10:40 on the mile, an 18 on your curl-ups, a 90-degree push-ups of 10, and a back saver of 8. So some people obviously think that's easy, but the main thing about that is it's based off science. The presidential award was done back 10-20 years ago, and if you kind of look around and look at America's obesity, it's significantly increased. So because of that, people are not as fit as they used to be, which made it very hard for them to be able to pass the current one. I know a lot of people are like, well, you got to put the standard up there so they have to reach it, but it's not very fair if you're a Curry for 8 months, a year, you never get past Curry, or even get your Curry because you can't pass the PT. So if we're being fair, or not fair, then a lot of people look at this and you can pick out like, well, I'm a 14-year-old girl and I can run an 8-minute mile, so why are we having them do a 10:09? And the guy who taught me about it, Kurt LaFond, he made it very clear. He's like, we can't just arbitrarily go in there and do this. This was based off of science. They did this in Georgia, these same standards, I believe. This is based off my memory. They did this in Georgia, and when only 50% of the cadets, or all students in all the school systems in Georgia, took the same test, and only 50% of them were able to pass. So for some people, you're going to look at it super easy. Well, that's great. Go for the fitness badge. And then some people are like, well, I'm going to have to push a little bit to get there. It's okay. Also, one thing that they're implementing is, like I said earlier, it's only 180 days that you have to do this. So that doesn't mean that you're doing PT once every 6 months. You actually still have every single month, you still have a PT like we do currently right now. It just means that we're going from doing a PT test every single month. Well, great, you're testing yourself every month, but where are you actually improving in that? That's leaving all of the accountability to improve in between those meetings and in between that month. So the PT test will be given once a quarter, so 4 times a year, and those other 8 times in that year will be teaching about nutrition, teaching about fitness. They suggest circuits, so you'll do some jumping jacks, you'll run to the other station, do sit-ups, you'll run to the next one, you do push-ups, run to the next one, you do stretches, you run to the next one and you do the butterfly. Just, you go through and you do all of those. And so you're actually learning and improving your scores and not just being tested on your scores. So I think that's actually a great thing that's been implemented. Yes, so for their circuits, they suggest hula hoops, stretching maps, jump ropes, push-ups, curl-ups, and then wall sits. So you just do that. It's 45 minutes of training on PT or fitness or nutrition on health, and then that you go on with your regular scheduled evening. The PACER Progressive Aerobic Cardiovascular Endurance Run is the default aerobic capacity in the fitness gram. The PACER is a multi-stage fitness test adapted from the 20-meter shuttle run. It is easy in the beginning and gets more difficult at the end. The progressive nature of the test provides a built-in warm-up and helps the children pace themselves. This test has also been set to music to create a vivid, fun alternative to the customary distance run test for measuring aerobic capacity. Mark off 20 meters, and then there's a CD that's played, and it basically like beeps every so time, and then you just have to run across the 20 meters. And so once you run past that 20 meters, it's just 1. And then you have to run back again, and it's 2. So like the first one you can walk, and it's really slow, it's really like, you're warming up. And by the end, you're kind of sprinting across. So you're trying to go back as many times as you can until everyone is done. So for the curl up, it's kind of the same, kind of not. You bend your knees at about a 40-degree angle, 140-degree angle. Feet flat on the floor, legs slightly apart, arms straight and parallel to the trunk with palms, hands resting on the mat. Fingers stretch out, so you're laying with your back, and then you kind of go up. But it's not like you would before, because one of my friends said this really well. He's like, what's happening in the past is to get that, you're not actually using your muscles. You're extenuating your muscles and flinging yourself. You're using your arms, even though if you're grabbing onto your shirt like this, you're just using this, you raise your arms up like this, and you're thrusting yourself forward to get that. That's how you get it. You're not using your muscles because you only have 60 seconds. So this actually is using your muscles because you don't go all the way up. Your arms are always straight out. I don't know if this is making complete sense, but your arms are always straight out. You lay flat on the ground, and you're just going a set distance. You're not just flinging yourself up. Here you can see the sit and reach. You can see how you're not actually moving your body completely up, and you're just kind of going to the halfway position between a sit-up. And that little mesh at the bottom right under his legs is probably just going to be a piece of tape for your squadron. That's probably what it's going to look like. The 90-degree push-up is literally the same thing. It's just making sure you actually break that 90 degrees. In the sit and reach, you still use the sit and reach bar, except instead of having both legs straight out, one leg will be curled up, and then you still use both arms. I don't really know what it does or why the change is. I believe it's just to help your backs and your hamstrings not to be strained. So that's, and you can see here. Here's what the sit and reach looks like with your leg kind of curled up. Okay, so that's mainly everything I wanted to cover. They're really emphasizing the learning and actually improving your scores. It is going to be easier to start off with, but it's more about improving your actual scores and actually making a change in your scores than promoting and doing that kind of thing. They're really emphasizing getting the badge, the squadron, the safety behind it, and actually making it a program, not just a test. So there's some good, there's some bad. A lot of people look at the scores and think it's too easy, but that's just another way for you to look beyond. Just because the scores are low doesn't mean you can't reach further, but when the scores are too high, it becomes impossible for certain cadets. They also still have the category 1, 2, 3, and 4 for those who are incapable of actually doing the PT. So they do have that. If you have any questions on this, like I'm sure you will, just put them in the comments below. I'll have tons of links below where you can check out the drafts and all that kind of stuff. There's a little blog, articles, there's how-tos, all kinds of stuff down in the description, so you can check that out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is my collaboration. A few weeks ago I posted something called Collab With Me and my channel update. I'll have it linked above, somewhere up there. So I had several answers and a lot of people who wanted to collab. So thank you for everyone who did. Ask 2 questions. What you've learned through your organization, whether it's CAP, ATC, ROTC, anything like that, and what advice you'd give to someone new.